Good afternoon, this is Sylvester Bush, here to discuss a few dispositions that I possess that will make me a successful teacher, as well as some things that I need to make some improvements on before I re-enter the classroom. So one of the most important things that I've seen build towards a successful teacher is an ability to care, or an ability to show that you care. So when a student enters the classroom, how do we view that person? How do we view that young man? How do we view that young woman? Are they just student number 25? That's one over the ideal course number. Or are they somebody that we see as a well-rounded individual? Am I just merely concerned with their grades, or am I going to do a little bit of primary investigation to see what their life is like outside the classroom that informs who they are inside the classroom? Doing all of that research, it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of front loading time. But I find that this has been optimal in order to show the student that I care. In other words, you're just not somebody that I have to take care of, or you're just not a test score that I see, but rather you're somebody who's learning that I care about sincerely, and I want to see grow into a well-rounded, critically thinking individual. And if I don't show that care, really it's at my own detriment, or at the detriment, more importantly, of the entire classroom. Because that student that doesn't have or exercise or demonstrate a certain care towards their education, that student becomes disruptive and takes away from the learning of his or her classmates. Another way of looking at it is that paradigm that they don't care what I know if they don't know that I care. So that ability to show that care and manifest it quite audaciously is one of the things that I have been able to demonstrate, and I think really adds to the overall classroom environment. Additionally, I have a certain nerdy enthusiasm when it comes to my subject matter, Spanish. I get legitimately excited about conjugating an AR verb in the subjunctive. The grammar of the thing, the plus com perfecto, and being able to show these little relationships between a word that generated in Latin, the differences and the similarities between English and Spanish. My heart rate increases. I get enthusiastic just thinking about it. And what I've seen from certain students is that they tend to smile when they see me geek out, and that enthusiasm that I exercise. It tends to spread. It tends to be contagious. And that's one of the things that I see as a positive in my classroom, just overall exuberance and enthusiasm. When I show it, students mirror it back without thinking about it. And they might be reluctant to do it when they do think about it, but when they show that proficiency in the skill that I'm teaching, it just augments the classroom environment, and they see it as a positive, as do I. One of the things that I'm going to work on is the factor of organization. I frequently have a lot of things going on. I like to see it as multitasking, but I understand that it can come across as a certain organized or sometimes unorganized chaos. And that's something that I'm going to want to improve upon in the future. And it affects the efficiency of the class, the overall mood to the class. So when a teacher is transitioning from one activity to the other, or from one spectrum to a relevant lane, if that transition is not smooth, if there's too much downtime, and we're talking about 24 to 30, 14, 15, 16-year-old boys and girls, that downtime is going to transition into utter chaos. And I've seen that happen as a byproduct of my being unorganized or sometimes unprepared, and that's something that I'm going to want to improve upon in the very near future, such that in the fall we won't see that happen again, because that's to the detriment of their education. I only have 50 to 60 minutes with these young minds, and I need to maximize every single one of those seconds. So what a professional educator looks like, I think it's a very human thing to let our own experience inform the ideal. And I can recall Miss Durham and how organized she was, and how she let her personality infuse the class, and how much knowledge she had, and how much she wanted to share that with her children, with her students. And that professionalism put together with that overall sense of care for her community. That's something I look to exercise, or that's something that I look to demonstrate with my own pedagogy, within my own teaching. And the more I do that, the better off I think my young men and women will be. Thanks for your time.